So I've got good news and bad news when it comes to relationships. Here's the good news. Most of the time, our busyness is deeply influenced by the relationships that we have. It's because we love people and we care about them that we get into a busy situation, right? You love your kids, and so you take them to soccer practice and to piano lessons and to the school clubs that they want to be a part of. You love your coworkers, and so when they come into your office and they interrupt you, you put down what you're doing and you pay attention to them and you sacrifice your time and energy and attention for them. The great news is it's because you care about people that you're often busy. Now, here's the bad news. Busyness causes us to resent and even actively dislike the very people that we care about the most. And there is a fascinating story I want to tell you that will help you see this. In 1970, two Princeton social scientists named Dr. Darley and Batson decided that they were going to conduct an experiment. They brought in students from Princeton Theological Seminary and they gave them a career assessment. And then once those students finished with the career assessment, they would come out and the doctors would tell them that they needed to go across campus to preach a sermon on the Good Samaritan, right? That's the story in the Bible where a guy gets beaten up, he's laying on the road, and a priest passes by him and another religious leader passes by him and they ignore him. And this Samaritan, who would have been hated in those days and times, came and helped the man who was beaten up. So Darley and Batson say to these theological students that they need to cross the campus and they need to go preach a quick sermon on the Good Samaritan. But then Darley and Batson did something really interesting. They put them in one of three categories. Either first, they told them that they were ahead of schedule and had plenty of time to get across campus. Or second, they told them that they had just enough time to get across campus. Or third, they put them in a high hurry situation where they told the students that they were already running late and they needed to hurry very quickly to get across campus. Now here's where the experiment got really interesting. As the students were crossing the campus, Darley and Batson had planted a man who was dressed in rags, lying in the middle of the sidewalk, and he would, as a student would approach, he would cough 2 times very loudly and moan in pain as the student came close to him. Here's what happened. Of the students who had plenty of time, 63% of them stopped to help the man. Of the students who had just enough time, 48% of them, almost half, stopped to help the man. But of the students who were in high hurry, who were told they didn't have enough time, only 10% of them stopped to help the man. The fact that they were so rushed and so busy caused them to step right over the man. In fact, think about it this way. These students were training to be ministry leaders and were going to preach a sermon on the Good Samaritan, yet 90% of them failed to be one. That is what busyness does to our relationships. It destroys them.